Hey, thanks for checking out our video.
Hey,
I'm Carson.
I'm Nick.
Welcome to Based.
Bass.
We're making it up as we go.
All right.
We've got the Origin BassRig pedal
Yes.
that Nick has so kindly provided.
Impulse bought it. $500 gone. Got this thing back.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. We're learning.
We are learning. This is our second attempt at the video because this has actually kind of thrown us through a loop a little bit.
A little bit of a loop.
And I'll try to not like preface it with any opinions just yet, but just know we're going to start out, and you can kind of see on this camera, we're going to start out with the drive kind of almost all the way up.
Yep.
Sorry. Straight down the middle. EQ in the middle, all the switches in the middle. The one thing to note is that this pedal has a 810 cab simulation on the DI out. We are only using the DI out.
Yes.
So there's no way to hear this without the cab simulation unless you do the amp out line with your instrument cable, go into a separate DI. Or if you go in the amp out and go into your amp on stage, it has some little controls at the bottom so you can dial that in. It's kind of these. These are specific to the amp out.
So what's the bypass versus?
So this, my understanding is it would still run your bass signal through an 810 cab simulation from the DI, even if the pedal is off.
Okay.
So you click the pedal off, you've still got a DI out that's working, and it still has a cab sim on it.
Interesting.
So that you could maybe click it on as a dirt pedal or something. And also, Origin builds things really nice. Like, that's a silent click switch. Like, they have the nicest switches. Full disclosure, I've owned two Origin things. I had the Cali 76 Compact. Found something I liked a little better, but it was a great pedal, very well built. And then the Cali 76, the big guy with the Lindell TranZformer. The Mongo. And I'm kind of into something else. We'll do another video on what I'm into right now, but it was a great compressor. It was huge. It doesn't it's not like mystical, like people act like it is, which is probably why Origin themselves are like, well, we can build this smaller and just as high quality. I would generally agree. The big one did have some really cool stuff, but anyway, once it was off my board, they're so expensive right now that I just couldn't justify it sitting on a shelf.
You had to make your money.
Or I had to make my money back. I paid an inflated price and wanted to get that price back. If they were still like $500 or $600 like they were, I would probably still own it. But anyway, so they came out with this. Really interested me because they're thinking in a way that a lot of bass pedal manufacturers aren't.
Sure.
And they're trying to solve some problems that I think about, that you might think about.
Sure.
In an interesting way. So we're going to talk about it. And at the end, maybe I'll talk about what I think I like, what I don't like. But this is my first time actually using the pedal. I've not taken it on a gig. I've not whatever. That would probably change my opinion. We'll see. But we're going to play with it. This is an RSP bass with flat wounds on it. Tone is all the way up. We're just going to play around. So, Nick, could you play us something? And I'm going to mess with the EQ.
Sure. Yeah, let's get rolling.
Here's the treble. That was with the ultra high on. No, this is with the ultra high on. Yeah, that's pretty aggressive. I like it, but you're hearing some hiss.
Yeah.
So our options are ultra high, then nothing, then low cut. I'm not going to do low cut.
Man, catch a fingernail and you're just getting every bit of that. on that ultra high.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So this is in the middle setting, with the treble rolled off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it. And now this is with the treble on. So I do think this is cool. You can hit the ultra high and then cut the treble a little bit to get a different kind of sound.
Sure.
I'm into that. And it's changing the character of the overdrive.
Yes.
A little bit. Like it's pretty subtle right now, but
I mean, I can hit it.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the mid real quick before we spend time here. I'm going to leave the treble where it's at because I like that. Here's the mid. Scooped out. Now I'm going to go on the 3-position switch. So that's cutting 800. Really woolly. This is kind of the normal mid. Which do they say what the normal mid is? This will be 800. Last
Fun.
one was 220. This is 800. The next one's 3K. So let's try 3K.
Give them 3K. The people want it.
So that's scooping 3K. This is scooping
Got that
800.
underwater bass.
Yeah. This is scooping 800. This is scooping 220. If I was going to scoop any of them, it'd be 220, I think. Maybe. Yeah. Wait. No, it'd be 800. Let's do the other way. We're going to boost. This is 800. This is 220. I'm sorry. This is 800. 800 boosted. This is... These are written in the wrong... Anyway. That's 220. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I don't love the sound of that boosted, so I'm going to cut just a little bit. Let's find which one I liked again. Let's do it at that one, and I'm just going to give it like just the tiniest. Alright, let's try low now. That's rolled off. That's pretty cool. Then let's pump the overdrive. So that's blending and clean signal.
I mean, there's quite a volume jump.
Yeah, because,
That drive signal is very hot.
yeah. So this is an interesting thing. This is what threw us through a loop a minute ago. The EQ and stuff doesn't really seem to work unless you switch the blend over to like the amp saturated section of the pedal,
Sure.
which is to the right. Then you have to add drive, because if you don't, play real quick.
Yeah, you really don't get the characteristics.
You get nothing. Unless you put this drive on, you're actually not getting the amp at all, or the amp simulation kind of thing. Which is cool and not, like, it's just a weird way to do it.
Sure.
And then if I back it off to try to go to the clean signal, it's literally just the clean signal of your bass. It is not, you can't EQ it and get like the EQ side and then the drive side, which is how a Sans amp would work. It's like, this is your clean bass. If you don't like how it sounds raw, you use the drive channel. But if you don't want distortion or anything, like if you want it super clean, you're still going to have to
Dial up some drive and blend it a little
kind of
bit.
do like that number and then like juice the
Yeah.
output. Try that. Okay, so I'm looking, we're going to play with the mid again really quick. Somebody online is probably so mad at me, but we're going to ship this anyway. The way they do the mid, it's like 800 at the top, then in the middle is 3K, then the bottom is 220, which is a weird way to do that because I would want it 3K, 800, 220 so that I know mentally I'm going high to low
Sure.
in the frequencies. But it's like 800, 3K in the middle, then 220. So that's what was confusing me a little earlier. And it's just there's a lot of little quirks to it.
Sure.
It seems like you have to know this pedal inside and out to get what you want from it.
Yeah, it's definitely not out of the box intuitive. I'm sure you really get used to it, but for us, it was not like other pedals.
No. Like, yeah, again, this is our second attempt at it. I don't know if I like how they're doing this, is kind of the...
Yeah, I'm definitely going to play with it for a little bit because I'm stubborn, but...
No, I mean,
yeah.
if you get a great sound, which I think we
Sure.
can, but I land more cleaner.
I say it's going to be dirty.
It seems like there's no... like, I'm having to do things to make it clean
Sure.
instead of having to make it sound great clean and then blending in a distortion. It's like you don't have a choice.
Sure.
Which maybe, benefit of the doubt, maybe that's why it has that 810 cab simulation when it's even off.
Sure.
So that you can get happy with your clean tone on another pedal, and then this is your dirty amp tone. You turn it on, you get it, and you turn it off, you still get the cab sim. It's still just a weird way to do it.
Yes, I agree.
Let's play with the mid a little bit more.
Sure.
So that is 800. This is 3K. That is 220.
This bass keeps falling off me.
Yeah, I like that. An 800. Yeah. How about I take the bass? I'll grab my other bass. I'll grab my Yamaha and I'll let Nick fiddle with it. See what happens.
And we're back. Oh man, that's taken to it very actively. For those that don't know, would you explain a little bit about this? Just a quick synopsis of this bass.
Yeah, this is a Yamaha BB5000. It's the first, my understanding, it's the first ever production 5-string bass, which just means it's a really tight, spaced 5-string instrument from the early to mid 80s.
Sure.
I love it.
Completely
It's my favorite
passive.
bass. All passive.
Completely
yeah.
passive.
So I can do a P pickup like that, or I could do both pickups, or I could do just bridge pickup. I don't really love the bridge pickup solos, so I'm not going to do it. That's both pickups. Here's just the P. So let's do both pickups and tones all the way up. But I'm just going to play a little bit, and Nick can kind of talk about what he's looking for out of the pedal or what he's doing.
Sure. I keep a drive on quite a bit out of a P bass. Something that kind of lays in the mix well, makes it spark a little bit. I played it basically me and a guitar player and a drummer, so got to stand out somehow, I guess. This is a start of where I'd be, but like you, I'm wanting to dial up a clean tone and then get the drive in, but we'll keep playing with it. actually wanted to dial up one of these. It gives you some sample settings. One is the Raging Machine, and shout out Tim Comerford. Here we go. Here's the Raging Machine. That's the Raging Machine. It feels... It's scooped in a similar way. The opposite scoop.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing a little bit of meat.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously notorious for those, like, Music Man, sparkly sounds.
Yeah. I mean, and I need to play with it more, but I have a 70s SVT sitting off camera. Yes. I haven't used it enough to like give you a definitive opinion, but it's definitely a lot different.
Sure, let's try this. Let's see. Let's try this Neo Soulful setting.
I hope that means Pinot Palladino. It probably does. I'm going to switch to the P pickup for this one because that's probably what they were intending.
That's thumpy. Man, that's got so much, like... I don't know. It's still so gritty.
Yeah, can you try to dial something in with a little bit less grit and see how you think it's going? Like we talked about earlier, it just seems like it's hard to get a nice clean tone and then blend the other stuff in. Which again is how a SansAmp's kind of programmed us to operate.
Sure.
But there's literally no signal if you don't have drive up.
And if you're blending all the way, it's either that or you're straight bass.
Right. With no processing, like completely raw. So it's like you need another pedal if you want to do more.
Yeah, almost. Which maybe is in the SVT vein, I suppose, but SVT is so versatile.
Yeah, I run my SVT clean, so...
We could kind of make up for this, maybe gut loss. I mean, that's just got that little bit of sparkle on top.
Yeah, this is probably closer to what I would enjoy. I'm going to go back to both pickups. Yeah, let me... I don't feel like I like this pedal with the clean signal blended in. Unless I had another pedal before it that's doing like an EQ, I don't like it. So let's just blend all the way in, and then let's give it like a medium amount of drive, and then let's see where we land with this high. That's too much. See, I don't feel like I'm getting enough out of the treble knob, and then I flip this on, it's too much.
Sure.
And I want to dial it back, but it's like for the treble knob to get more powerful, I have to give it more gain. Or they're calling it drive. I think they should have called it input gain. So I'm going to put that up and see. I mean, I like it almost all the way up. That's a low cut, which I don't know if I would use that. It's a lot noisier with that high on, which an Ampeg would be, but that's a lot of high.
So that is crunchy.
So let's just do that. Let's just boost the treble. I want less grit than that. I'm just using my ears now. Let's try that for a sec. I like that.
It's interesting.
It's nasty though.
That's not.
It's not clean at all. It's really nasty. That to me is a really usable distorted tone.
Throw that. I'm gonna back this blend off. Sounds like an accident.
Yeah, it's like if I had an active bass and was doing all my EQ on my active bass,
Sure.
it'd probably be a lot nicer.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And the active bass guy is maybe not the target demographic for an old vintage.
If you're looking for the one-trick pony, this may be it. I assumed it was more versatile.
So, I don't know, maybe we end it there. Like, I think this is a great pedal if you treat it as a dirt pedal.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should think about this as a dirt box, as an overdrive, as a whatever, and not as just like this is my
It's
preamp.
a mean overdrive.
Yeah.
Like it is versatile in that way of like the range of like really cool bite you can get on the bass. It's responsive, and it's responsive to your input as well. Like you can really play the pedal, and I think that's cool. But as far as like one preamp to kill them all, it's not it.
Like
For me, maybe it is for you.
Unless you're like just trying to take a bunch of fun things to the studio, I could never really bring this to the studio.
Sure.
One, because they don't really care about what fun things I brought, because they've got something that does the same thing.
Yeah,
that's the real thing, or something rack mounted that's a lot nicer that kind of does the same thing, or they just don't care about doing the drive. They want to do that all in the box later.
Yes,
and they're going to use Ampeg even makes a plug-in.
Sure.
So if I wanted that dirty tone all the time, I'd like it. If I had a EQ pedal, like the API TranZformer LLX or whatever it's called, like if I had a good EQ pedal that I thought this is my sound, like this EQ helps make my sound, and then I go into this, I'd probably like it way more. But the fact that I can't turn off the 810 cab simulation going out of the DI, I don't like that.
Yeah.
The fact that it's only like I can't use the EQ on the pedal unless I am blending in drive.
Sure.
I don't like that. But there's a few things they did that is better than anybody, and that's like the ability to have the cab sim on when the pedal's off. For them to be so thoughtful to put EQ controls that you can help do things to your amplifier's tone on stage without sending it to the house, that's next level.
Sure.
It's just like a couple things away from me. Like it just prevents me from really investing.
There's enough to stop me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That I don't know this will see my board.
Yeah. Now, here's the real question. In our first pedal review, have we now been blacklisted by Big Bass Pedal?
By Big Bass?
The big bass? Get blasted by Big Bass?
No, there's plenty of pedals that we do love. I just think on first look, I don't know this is it.
Yeah.
For us, in our situations.
Totally.
Maybe it is for you. I don't know.
If I wanted a $500 dirt pedal, if I could afford that, then this tone sounds awesome. I mean, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's the first tone I've liked that we've dialed into it. But it's
I say it's not a whole gig thing.
expensive.
It's not a leave it.
Right. It might even be like with the silent switch. I wonder if it pops when we're playing. Well, one, that's a massive.
Holy cow.
Let me try to match that. Oh, gosh. That's kind of close. I'll have to adjust the gain levels in post, but like if I like as a last chorus, like beef up the mix kind of pedal, hit it for me and we'll see if it pops. That's great. I love this pedal called Grizzly bass, but it would pop in that circumstance. This doesn't pop. That's awesome.
Foot switch is a well-built pedal.
Yeah.
Like the form factor is great. It's very minimalist. Like I mean, they really didn't overdo the pedal. Well, it's not
The design is cool.
the design and
of
form
everything,
factor, the
yeah.
outputs. It is like, here's what you need, and I appreciate that. But
And I hope it doesn't sound like we're just dunking on them. But I will add one more thing that if you're in the United States or really, other places you need to consider is that if it breaks, at least my experience with the Callies, you have to send it back to England. And they're cool when you get it there. Like, they'll charge you less shop time than really they were working on, or like
Sure.
they're generally cool about it, but you have to ship it overseas to get it to them. And that's expensive for even a little pedal.
And there's nobody authorized here to work on those.
Not in my former experience. So if that's
Sure.
changed, that's different.
Yeah.
But I was having to ship stuff to get it looked at, and that's
tough.
that put me in a bad, like, it was almost enough to be like, I will just go buy another pedal.
Yeah. I mean, what do you got? $60 for a small pedal there?
Yeah,
Minimum?
plus shop time.
Yeah, minimum. And then $60 to ship it back, probably.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I think it was a little cheaper when they sent it back to me. And like
Still.
the amount of time it takes
Sure.
to get there. And like tracking stuff internationally is a nightmare.
So this could be a month-long ordeal. But
Absolutely.
It's the
And
price
if it's
you pay.
your tone, then it's like, okay, gonna have to fix this one. I'm gonna have to buy a new one because I need it for my next gig.
Yeah.
By the time the fixed one comes out, maybe I can sell it. But now I have to, say that it's fixed. It's used.
Sure.
It's anyway. Big bass is gonna shut us down.
Yeah. All in all, cool pedal. Maybe not for us, but
Thanks.
thanks for stopping in.
See ya.